A deadly meningitis outbreak has claimed the lives of 2 students in the UK, leaving families devastated and health authorities scrambling to contain the spread. A sixth-form pupil and a university student have died, while 11 more patients remain seriously ill in hospital. Health officials have administered preventive antibiotics to hundreds of people who may have been exposed to the potentially fatal infection. The outbreak has struck both secondary education and university settings, raising concerns about transmission in educational environments where students live and study in close proximity. Meningitis is a serious infection of the protective membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord that can kill within hours if left untreated. The swift response by health authorities reflects the urgent nature of containing bacterial meningitis, which can spread through respiratory droplets and close contact. Public health teams are continuing contact tracing efforts while families of those affected struggle to cope with the sudden and devastating impact of this aggressive disease. As 2 students have died in a meningitis outbreak, including one at the University of Kent, medical experts are urging the public to recognize the critical warning signs of this potentially fatal disease. Meningitis symptoms can develop rapidly and include severe headache, high fever, neck stiffness, sensitivity to light, and a distinctive rash that doesn't fade when pressed with a glass. The disease affects the protective membranes around the brain and spinal cord, making early detection crucial for survival. Several vaccines are available to protect against different strains of meningitis, with routine immunization programs covering many, but not all variants of the disease. The current outbreak highlights the importance of maintaining high vaccination rates and seeking immediate medical attention when symptoms appear. University students are particularly vulnerable due to close living quarters in dormitories and frequent social contact. Health authorities emphasize that while meningitis is rare, its rapid progression means anyone experiencing combination symptoms should treat it as a medical emergency requiring immediate hospital treatment. Afghanistan has accused Pakistan of killing hundreds of civilians in a devastating strike on a rehabilitation center, escalating tensions between the neighboring nations. Islamabad vehemently denies targeting the medical facility, claiming its military operations were aimed exclusively at strategic military installations rather than civilian infrastructure. The alleged hospital bombing represents a significant escalation in cross-border hostilities that have plagued the region for decades. Pakistan has conducted previous strikes targeting what it describes as militant positions along the volatile border area. The dispute over civilian casualties versus military targets reflects the complex security challenges facing both nations as they struggle with insurgency and border control issues. International humanitarian law strictly prohibits attacks on medical facilities, making the hospital strike allegations particularly serious if confirmed. The incident threatens to further destabilize relations between Afghanistan and Pakistan at a time when the region desperately needs cooperation to address shared security challenges. Verification of casualty figures and the nature of the targeted facility will be crucial for determining the international community's response to this latest cross-border incident. Scotland stands on the brink of potentially becoming the first nation in the United Kingdom to legalize assisted dying, as lawmakers prepare for a crucial vote on groundbreaking legislation. The Assisted Dying for Terminally Ill Adults Scotland bill faces a final parliamentary decision that political observers describe as too close to call. The proposed law would allow terminally ill adults to request medical assistance to end their lives under strict safeguards and medical supervision. Scotland's decision could set a precedent for similar legislation across the UK, where assisted dying remains illegal despite growing public support for change. The debate reflects broader global discussions about end-of-life choices, medical ethics, and individual autonomy in facing terminal illness. Supporters argue the legislation would provide dignity and choice for those suffering from incurable conditions, while opponents raise concerns about potential abuse and the sanctity of life. The vote represents years of careful consideration, public consultation, and intense parliamentary debate. If passed, Scotland would join a small number of countries and jurisdictions worldwide that permit some form of medically assisted dying for terminally ill patients. Chancellor Reeves has declared war on Britain's technology brain drain, vowing to end the troubling pattern of UK tech talent and companies relocating abroad. Speaking exclusively to the BBC, Reeves outlined ambitious plans to make Britain more attractive to its homegrown technology sector while simultaneously pledging closer economic ties with the European Union. The Chancellor's intervention comes amid growing concerns that British tech companies and skilled workers are increasingly choosing other markets over the UK for expansion and career opportunities. Brexit complications, regulatory challenges, and access to European markets have contributed to this exodus of talent and investment. Reeves emphasized that retaining technological expertise is crucial for Britain's economic competitiveness in the global digital economy. The government plans to implement policy changes designed to create a more favorable environment for tech companies and workers to remain in the UK. Her promise of closer EU cooperation suggests a potential shift in post-Brexit economic strategy. The success of these initiatives will be critical for maintaining Britain's position as a leading technology hub and preventing further erosion of its competitive advantage in the global marketplace.